Hi everyone. I'm so excited to be a guest designer for Miss Kate Cuttables, and I'm using one of her SVG files to create this fall inspired card. I used my Cricut machine to cut out the SVG file, and here I'm just showing you how I set up the canvas so that I can cut the components of the file out. I'm gonna kind of run through it rather quickly, but in case you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section and I will answer them as best as I can. So first I open up my Cricut design space and I go into to insert the image, and then I search for the file, and then I can just click on it and add it into my canvas. Here I'm just sizing the file or the image to the size that I think is going to look best. And then typically what I do, instead of cutting the layers on different mats or different times, I just go ahead and separate all of the images, and then I sort of arrange them on the mat the way I'm going to layer out my paper. So even though they're different colors, I can cut the paper down to the sizes according to the grid mat. And then once I select and click the attach function, they'll all change to the same color. But because I have my paper arranged on the mat to the different colors of the cut, I can cut everything in one swoop, even with different colored cardstock. I hope that made sense. So the large oak leaves, I decided to cut them out in white cardstock because I wanted to use my Spectrum Noir sparkle pens to color up those parts of the SVG file. So recently I was on a trip to Chicago, and the thing that stood out to me was seeing the different colors of the leaves. Living in Florida, you sort of forget that, the rest of the country is experiencing a season change because we don't have leaves like this. So when I saw like the different colors, like the really bright and bold oranges and reds and gold, I'm pretty sure I saw a gold leaf tree, I was just blown away. So anyway, that's the inspiration behind this card, and I really wanted to capture that brightness and the boldness of the leaves that I saw. So that's why I'm using the markers instead of using the colored cardstock. Plus, using the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens, you get this very nice sparkle across the entire leaf. And it looks really stunning. So after I color the entire leaf, I take the tip of the marker and I go around the edges just so there's no white left. And then off screen, I believe I color up the rest of the leaves using the Spectrum Noir sparkle pens in different colors. So here I'm ready to adhere the cut pieces or the cut layers, and I'm using the Zig two-way glue to adhere all of the layers together. Once I have that last layer of the acorn, I use one of the brown Spectrum Noir sparkle pens to add that to the top, just to tie everything in together. And then after I adhere all of the other pieces together, I can go ahead and let them dry. While that image is drying, I can go ahead and work on the rest of the card base. And I'm using this wood grain pattern paper, and I'm going to die cut it using one of the Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle dies. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment directly onto the pattern paper. I'm using a sentiment from Sunny Studios Beautiful Autumn, I believe is the name of the stamp set. And I'm using my Misty so that I can stamp it nice and straight. I'm using my Versamark because I want to white heat emboss that sentiment. I go ahead and stamp that out twice, and then I can add my white embossing powder. And then I can go ahead and melt that off screen. So now I'm ready to put together my card, and I'm using a white card base just for my stash, and then I'm going to layer the wood grain pattern paper down. Now here I attempted to use the press and seal to hold my pieces in place after I arranged them. It sort of worked. So now I'm just ready to start adhering the focal image onto my card. I'm using some liquid glue and I'm just dabbing it all over so that I can adhere at least the first part of the cut file down. And then I can start arranging the rest of the components and adhering them to the card. And a little bit of glue just seeped out from underneath, but I was just able to use my finger to wipe it up. And then I'll add the rest of the pieces. And I'm sort of following, I'm looking on my computer to follow along the layout from the original file, but I think I changed it up just a little bit. And get that last leaf on there. And then I can work on that smallest acorn and add that to the card. And finally, for some last touches, I use orange enamel dots. These are, I believe, by Doodlebug. And I just add those, several of those to the card, and that will complete my card. So I hope you guys like this card. I think I really captured the feel of fall. Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching and subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.